Hey y'all, Treasury here with Picture Me Living, and I'm here with a special guest today. You want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Jay Scott. Yeah.
Instagram, you want to share that?
Whew, JAYSC, the number 0TT_.
All right, so how do I know you? This is one of my son's basketball coach.
Yes. Been coaching T for what? I don't know if I'm supposed to say his name on camera, but been coaching him for 2 years
Not a
now.
full government.
Yeah,
Not full.
yeah.
He don't like me when I say the nickname either.
I think the name is hilarious. I've been wanting to call him that in practice, but I don't want to put him out there like that.
I asked him the other day, I was like, oh, so you or the other coach posted, I guess y'all had a coaches versus teenager game or whatever.
Yeah.
And so the meme or whatever was funny. And then one of you guys wrote, man, I almost passed out after that
Yeah,
game.
that was me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the oldest coach on the staff. So our coaching staff, 2 of them play ball in college. I didn't play ball in college. So
Okay.
they still think they can get
Yeah, I
up and down.
screenshot that and sent it to my son, and he sent the crying with laughter emoji. So I was,
Oh, okay. All right.
so I was like, wait a minute, do y'all follow each other on Instagram? He was like, no. I was like, wait, you probably weren't supposed to see that.
Yeah, nah, he don't follow the personal page. I don't even know if he followed my coaching page either, but
Really?
he probably had something to say.
Okay, I just snitched on June.
You did.
Okay. Yeah, he sent me the crying with laughter emoji. I was like, what happened? Did y'all have a game or whatever? And he was
And-
like, yeah, they won. And
Exactly.
Yeah. But could you have went for another round with them though?
Only because it's in front of them, and I don't want to come off, because we talk
Okay.
to him about it all the time, like competing.
Yeah.
So I did sit out a game because I was tired. I was in Air Maxes. I didn't even have like hooping shoes for real. So, but if they want, I'm the one who said like, yo, let's play another one, and I was just playing, but the players like, let's run it, and the coach was like, let's run it. So we had our little team huddle. We stopped and then got back on the court. So I set that game out, and I played the next one. And we won because I'm 30 plus years old. I can't even get up and down the floor like that no more.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit different. But
Yeah.
then again, his cardio isn't that great. So I'm assuming like it's easier to play the kids and like talk shit to them.
Yes and no, because even though if their cardio is not great, mine is terrible. And I work out 4 or 5 times a week, but I'm not doing cardio. I'm not
Okay.
getting up and down. So they're definitely more in shape than I am. Now the other coaches I can't speak for. They still hoop. They still
Yeah.
but just from a sense of competing, like, yeah, I'm gonna get out there and I'm trying to kill you. So
Yeah. Okay. And I feel like it's a smarter game from your perspective. So like they may be in more shape, but they're teenagers. Like,
that part. So
Yeah.
we don't work nearly as hard as they do.
okay.
Because we know what to do, how to move on the floor. Even though we don't play together a lot, we've been doing this for much longer. So
Right.
they kind of get mad at that. Like, oh, y'all grown man, y'all should be doing this. Nah, we just
For real.
just listen to
Do
what we
my
tell y'all
son
to
be
do.
talking shit like that?
So he don't, but I feel like
My pearls.
he'll kind of give a look like
For real.
nigga, shut up.
Oh, no, he
'Cause
don't know, baby.
Low, he's funny low key. And I feel
He
like
is.
some other kids, they'll speak up and he'll kind of look around. And I purposely look at him just to see what kind of facial expression he'll
Yeah.
give. Most of his facial expressions are calm, cool, demeanor,
Yeah.
but sometimes I can tell when he's getting pissed off, like, man, I check up again. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So yeah, T's funny, man. He's funny.
He got jokes now. He
He
got
does.
jokes. So he had a lot of personality as a child, and it just shut off like 11 and a half, 12. I mean, he wanted to be a YouTube star. I'll show you some YouTube videos. He just had
Oh,
videos
please
and
do.
he was just the star of the world. It was the June show. We were just living in it. And then 11 and a half, 12, stop recording me, get the camera out my face, just out of nowhere. Yes.
So I wonder what happened.
And you know what? I don't think it's what happened because I thought that at first.
Mhm.
And then I just started paying attention to everything that he was doing day in and day out. But I heard other moms saying the same thing that had preteens. I think it's a lot of overstimulation because it's just not what we're used to.
Right.
That's not how we were raised.
Right.
So I'm not used to, just shutting off one day. I mean, it was like overnight. I mean, he just like, this isn't cool to me anymore. Like, and then that's who you see now. But now at home, I'm starting to see it come out a little bit. Like he'll joke. We just watched Squid Game together, the competition, and we laughed all 10 episodes. So like, it's still there. It's just a more reserved. It's not a child. Like he's a man. Like he's developed.
He's growing up a little. You probably don't think it's cool no more to do that. Yeah.
So I thought something was wrong, and I'm like, nah, he's turned into a man.
Yeah.
Like he's finding out what he likes and what he doesn't like. And as a parent, it just rubbed me the wrong way. So I just let him. I sit back and I'm just like, do your thing then. But if you want to be a YouTube star, I'm right here waiting for you.
Right.
So now he'll do like the Instagram pictures. I don't know if you've seen him. He's like a little IG model sometimes.
See, I see what you post. I don't think I follow him. I got to follow him on Instagram for my coaching page.
Because he'll delete it. He'll post it. All the teenagers do it. Because I thought something was wrong with mine for a second. And I look at all the other teenagers' page. They post it, delete it.
Yep.
Post it, delete it.
It's so weird. Like, I don't understand this generation at all.
There's some weirdos.
They're weird. Let me post a picture to delete it later. And even put in the caption, might delete later. Why? That's the whole purpose of Instagram, is to post and let it live. I don't understand Instagram anymore. I don't understand this generation. I think I'm just getting too old. I sound like the old guy now.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. You ain't have to go ahead and
yeah, you do. I understand it, but it's evolving into something that we weren't prepared for.
Right.
It's definitely something else. My son has access to everything on Instagram. All these apps. Like he has access to everything. And we just didn't grow up with it. But we did grow up into adulthood with MySpace and, the Nokia phone. We had a game constantly. We underestimated Snake, but we had a game constantly. We were never bored, from high school up to now. And we birthed this generation of kids that are never bored. So,
but see, I feel like our generation was different because we got the best of both worlds. So when we came home from school, it wasn't sitting in front of a game system. Even though we had that option, it was still, man, go outside and play until the streetlights come on. Like we still had that social aspect, as opposed to now. What I think is like, this is all these kids know. Yeah. All they know is Instagram. All they know is Twitter, TikTok, and they don't get that regular, how we came up, that type of interaction. So it's a gift and a curse, because social media can be great, but like you said, you can't get overstimulated by it. Like I had to put a time limit. I get 45 minutes a day on IG. After that, I put it up. Yeah, I got to put it up. It's just too much. Whether it's the Instagram models or the black on black crime or police brutality, like it's just too much being put out there that it can weigh on you if you don't keep it in check.
So you could go in and just start liking obscure stuff. So you could I'll send you some travel stuff. Just go through and like it, and so then your algorithm changes.
Start to change. Yeah.
Because I do see I see Justin LeBoy posts. I see some messy stuff. I see some funny shit still. But a lot of the stuff like Jay Shetty, I like all of his posts, whether I read it or not, because I want that to continually show up on my timeline.
Right.
Third Eye posts, all those motivational. Even if I don't read it, I want it to keep coming up on my timeline because Instagram's smarter than me. So it thinks that I want to see all this. I don't.
Dang, so what's about what
I don't want to see no negativity. I want to be happy on Instagram all day. I'm delusional. I believe everything you're supposed to see on Instagram is happy because you're choosing to see that.
Right.
So if you want to see something fucked up in life, none of us are perfect. So just look in the mirror, look at your own life or whatever. I don't want to log on and see, my friends going through it. I just don't. So I guess I'm delusional in that sense. Like,
yeah, I can't figure it out. Like I said, I scroll through and after a while I just put it up.
Yeah.
I might go days without posting. Like, I mean, you follow me. I might post once a week. I don't even post like regular pictures. Like it's just to the story and keep it going.
I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Would you post your vacation pictures?
Yeah, if I take vacations. I don't get out. I don't travel. Like I went to New York about 2 or 3 months ago to see a friend get married. Got in a few days before the wedding. And that was the first time in a long time that I've traveled and just like been free. Like I
Okay.
was on a
Did you
train.
enjoy New York though?
So surprisingly, I did because I'd been in New York before, but I was in corporate America before I was an educator. So it was
Hmm.
on business and I hated it. Like I was young. I'm from the Midwest. So, it's a lot slower than New York,
Okay.
right? So I get there and like people are in a hurry. It's
Hmm.
like buildings are on top of each other. I don't think I've seen a tree in New York yet, like outside of Central Park. So it's just too much hustle and bustle for me. So ever since then, I'm like, man, I hate New York. I would never go back. One is cold, like whatever.
Yeah.
So when I went back, totally different perspective.
Okay.
Like it was the food amazing. Like, and I didn't even really go anywhere special. I'm talking, I went to food trucks and pizza
Yeah.
parlors all weekend. The nightlife, I kicked it like 3 or 4 different spots in 2 nights.
Mm.
In New York, they say it's a city that never sleeps. Like they are
No,
dead
they don't.
serious. They don't
They don't.
sleep. Like it's
It's
three,
all
four
night.
in the
Yeah.
morning and you hear
Yeah.
sirens, horns.
Yeah.
I leave out, like the line is jumping at the food truck. I'm like, man, y'all really don't sleep.
Yeah.
Like, so New York was fun.
Yeah.
I got to live. And I went by myself.
Okay.
So I enjoyed that. I got to get out more though. Like all I do is work and coach, work
So
and
what's
coach.
your because the basketball schedule is ridiculous. Let me just tell you. I was like,
Look,
what? Until February? Like, are y'all in the NBA? Oh my
it's
God.
crazy. It's
It is
crazy.
insane.
We
And
go
then y'all are practicing outside of that.
So it's a grind. We go from the season is October to February.
Hmm.
God willing, if we go to the playoffs, it's October to March.
Okay.
And then you take a couple weeks off and you're right back in off season training. So it never stops.
Okay.
And then I'm a track coach as well. I'm the head coach of girls track and that's pretty much all year as well.
Wow.
So it's literally for the past 8 to 9 years, I've been basketball, track, basketball, track, basketball, track.
Why so back to back though? Like, why put that on yourself?
Cause I love it. I
Mm.
love it. Like it's kind of that give and take.
So you love your job.
I do.
Okay.
I do. People call me crazy all the time because I was in corporate America before this, and now
Yeah.
I'm a teacher, and people have their own views on
Yeah.
the occupation of being an educator. But I really think right now what's keeping me is the coaching. Like if I didn't coach, I probably wouldn't be an educator. I'm just being
Okay.
honest. But
And what do you enjoy about coaching?
seeing a kid go from where they come to you at and how they grow not only as an athlete but just as a student, that is the greatest feeling in the world. Like just for example, today we had a former student come back who was actually going to try out for the Olympic team this summer.
Really?
Yeah, he's actually a world champion already on the 4x4 team. So
Oh wow.
the fact that he started at where I coach at,
Hmm.
to see him now, like that is
Yeah.
the ultimate satisfaction, the ultimate joy. And I wasn't even his coach. I was the girls coach. He ran for the boys team, obviously. But just seeing him grow
Yeah.
and then reach literally the highest point in your sport.
Wow.
Like
What's his name so we can look for him?
Chris Bailey, Christopher
Okay.
Bailey went to, started at Mississippi Valley State,
Mhm.
transferred to Tennessee and then just finished up at the University of Arkansas where I think they were indoor national champions.
Okay.
And then he went to compete in Budapest for the World Athletics. And
Okay. And now going to the Olympics.
now he got to go through trials and everything.
Okay.
But, we go ahead and speak it into existence.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
will be
yeah.
on the Olympic 4x4 team
Yeah.
come July, and I will be in Paris to watch him run.
Wow.
So that is like when you say why you do it and all these crazy nights and crazy schedule, that's why.
I
Students
want
like
to see
that.
just watching my son evolve. Is I don't even have an adjective to describe it. It's insane. It's beautiful. It's so many different words to describe it because not just the muscles. Like that's the outside, but I can hear a difference in his confidence, how he speaks. Then he came to me and I try to make as many games as I can, specifically the home games. But he came to me one day at a game that I couldn't make it. And he was like, I did a move from practice in the game and I did it right. And I've never done that right. And my coaches told me about this move and he didn't tell me what the move was, but the excitement, like his eyes lit up. Like he was just like super excited that he did that. And I was like, okay, did you make the shot now? I was like, you got to make the shot, son. And so, me as a mom, I'm hard on him. I am. And I said, good job. But on the weekends, you need to get out there on up the street at that free park and just practice free throw. I don't know much about basketball, but I do know what hard work will get you. I do know what practice would get. That's how I got my career, from doing the repetition over and over again. So go out there and just practice a layup, practice a layup, practice a layup over and over and over. You think he
You
listened?
trying to be a coach? You sound like us.
You think he listened to me though?
I don't know what it is. They don't. I don't understand it. But I will give him credit, because I think I remember what movie you're talking about. I did see him do something in the game. I was like, oh shit, T. He did it. And like we looking at each other like, yeah, T. And then he missed a layup. I'm like, but just the fact that he got there, because he's right. You know, he hadn't tried that move. Like a lot, like, and I think we took a practice and like literally we had to break everything down. Like, try this. And he went out there and did it and was like, let's go. And he missed a layup and was like, damn. But I don't know, man.
The fundamentals, and the same speech I just gave you. But I was like, if you, on your free time, practice just the things that I know, the simple things, a layup, free throw line, 3-point line. If you just practice just those things.
We don't even need him to shoot threes. Just if you rebound, layups, and make your free throws.
I've been saying this. It's a broken record. I've been saying this for years, since middle school. If you just do, in middle school, I was saying dribble. Go out in the driveway, because we had a long driveway at the time. Just I don't need to practice. I can practice that at practice. You know what?
But see, that's the problem right there. They don't put in the work outside of practice. Like, we talk about our generation, man, we sound like a bunch of old folks. But when we came up, it was, we hooping in the neighborhoods. Like, we're going to the park and we're hooping. That's how you earned your stripes, was to go, you had to go hoop against other grown men. It wasn't about what you did in practice. That's what you're supposed to do. That's a given. By the time you get to practice, you're supposed to be on point anyway. Yeah. Especially at the high school level. So they don't hoop outside of practice.
I told him that, and I still tell him that. And that equates to real life, because I'm hard on him about real life. It's happening real fast. You were just a baby yesterday. Like, I'm here to tell you, this time is not waiting on nobody. You have got to repeat things every single day, whether it's studying for a test, whether it's studying for a raise. This is the key to success. There are no shortcuts to success. You have got to go in there, cut that game off.
The work is the work.
Yeah, you got to do the work.
The work ain't going nowhere. You put the work in, you're going to see the fruits of your labor. If not, you're going to be in the same spot.
There we go. There you have it. He said it's gonna be a good episode, so he gonna probably cut it off right now.
It's like too much on TV. Y'all go ahead and move on.
So, okay, I was supposed to give you an icebreaker.
What's the icebreaker?
Give me your 5 favorite basketball teams, and then
5
players. Top 5.
So I don't have 5 teams. I guess if I'm going college to pro, University of Cincinnati, because that's where I went to school. University of Miami, because that's where my graduate degree is from. I'm a huge Auburn fan, so Coach Pearl right now, like, killing it at Auburn. My dad was in Alabama, so that's how I became an Auburn fan.
Really?
Yeah. People ask me all the time, why are you a fan of Auburn? It's random, but yeah, my dad, I pretty much grew up in Montgomery, Alabama in the summers. So, and then professionally, Indiana Pacers, because again, that's where I'm from. And then I would probably say like the 76ers, because getting into the favorite players, my favorite player growing up was Allen Iverson.
We were just talking about practice, and that's why I laughed.
Practice. We talking about, So Iverson was my favorite player growing up. That was really it, man. I tried to model my game after him. I wasn't like the best hooper in the world. I was more of a track guy, but I had that crossover down pat.
Okay.
So that was probably my favorite player. I can give you 5 players. It'd be Iverson, LeBron. I feel like you got to say Kobe and Jordan just because, but.
Interesting.
Yeah, you got to put all 3 of them in there. And then my 5th would be, I'm going old school, Oscar Robertson, again, Cincinnati alum. And I think he broke the color barrier in college sports too. I think he was the first African-American to hoop at a predominantly white institution. So.
Why did you say you have to put Kobe and Michael in there?
Because we always have the argument of who's better, right? And you can't really figure that out. Yeah. But we do know, excuse me, all 3 of those players changed the game. LeBron came in and did what he did. Like from high school, he was the chosen one. And he's lived up to that expectation, whatever you want to say about him. He's a winner. Jordan is, come on now, it's Jordan. Yeah. And then Kobe, I think it took me a while with Kobe because I did not like Kobe growing up. Like watching his game, I hated his game. He didn't pass the ball. Like he literally did not pass the ball, but his mentality was some next level.
Yeah.
So you got to put, if you can like mix all three together, like I think you get the GOAT, but I don't know who the GOAT is.
I've never heard someone say, I guess you gotta put Kobe and Michael in there.
You
Like,
got to.
but so you're reluctant.
I'm reluctant because it's almost you can't, I know you said my top five, but if I'm thinking top five basketball wise, if you don't have those three guys in the top five, then
It's not
something's
complete.
wrong. Right.
Okay.
And if I had to just go top five basketball wise, it'd be those three. And I'm probably throwing probably a Shaq in there and Magic and or Bird.
Okay.
So, but you got to put those three in there.
Okay. That's for the guys that listen. It's a lot of men that listen and they talk back to the radio and they're like, what are you talking about? So they're gonna DM you and they're gonna be like, what are you talking about?
DMs are open. I'm down for a debate anytime. This is what I do. I work in the sports industry. So whatever debate y'all want to have, let's have it. Those three are the three greatest players to play this game.
So what is another or different heavily debated basketball topic?
Man, I don't want to like super serious this out, but right now, Draymond Green is
Ooh.
we don't know, is he a dirty player? Does he just play hard? How good is he really?
I saw on Instagram that all his highlight clips, if you look at it today, is fighting.
Yeah.
So
Draymond is
what you think? Is he a dirty player?
For sure. Some of that stuff he's doing on purpose. Like he tries to come off as, and I've been following Draymond for a minute, like since he was at Michigan State. So he comes off as I'm the enforcer. I'm the guy that got to set shit straight. But
so he was with Golden State, right, during the whole ring situation. Mm-hmm. Do you think certain things may have been overlooked?
Of course. I mean, just last year when he swung on Jordan Poole and almost knocked him out like that right there is enough. I don't know what happened, the reason why you swung, but you don't do that to your teammate.
Yeah.
So the fact that he even thought that he could do that, is a problem and an issue. So
he's gotten away with a lot.
He's gotten away with a lot.
Wow.
Which is right now he's suspended indefinitely because he has gotten away with a lot.
That was my first thought process as an empath. Like, if that's his highlight reel, what don't we know?
Right.
If that's what's on camera, what don't we know?
A lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and we won't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe we will, but
yeah.
When it comes to just like that rule you're talking about, because I've seen it, he's definitely a dirty player, man. He's kicking folks in the nuts. He's stepping on people. Well, he's
keeping it entertaining because NBA can be quite boring.
Because it's like you just said, it's a super long season. It's 82 games.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even watch the NBA until Christmas.
And I feel like personally, and this could be because LeBron and I are the same age, but if you're not talking about LeBron, what else is going on in the NBA? You don't know anybody other than, the gunslinger. What's his name? The guy with the gun. Memphis.
Ja Morant.
Yeah, him. You got him. He keeps things interesting. And the guy that keeps getting the women pregnant. See, I don't even know their name. I just know what they know.
They keep getting the women pregnant. It's a lot of them right now doing that.
The one that I don't know their name, but that's just how boring it is. I know what they're known for, but the one that had the porn stars beefing on Twitter.
You talk about Zion Williamson? Yeah. Oh my goodness. And she just came out like yesterday and said some more shit. Like,
did she really? I thought somebody shut her up.
No, she went in. I haven't watched it yet, but just it's on Twitter. Yeah. Oh my. So that right there, like, if LeBron retires tomorrow and calls it quits,
that's all we got.
That's what we're gonna have.
They kicking Draymond out. Like, that's, I mean, what is, I don't know.
And what's crazy, because I think, again, taking it back 10, 15 years ago, you would have never known all of this information. We would have known who got who pregnant unless you were like in that circle. Mm-hmm. But the fact that these are the headlines, we're not even highlighting basketball. We're highlighting off the stuff, off the court stuff. So that's going to be your problem.
Any more interesting sports debates?
Tyreek Hill, a football player, not basketball, also. I think he got about 3 women pregnant right now, and he's actually engaged and or just got married or something like that, which is...
So I didn't know that. Yeah. But so Tyreek won us a lot of money. So funny story about fantasy football. Oh, okay. Funny story about my son. He's serious with fantasy. He is really good.
Mm.
Really good. Anyone wants to hire him, he charges a small fee. However, he is really good. And this is before I knew he was really good, right? So he was like 10 or 11. And I joined this $150 league at work. And I wake up and it says, I changed Matt Ryan to Aaron Rodgers. And I didn't do that. I go tell June and he's like, yeah, I changed them because such and such. And it was real legit reason. I'm like, no, you can't do that. And we will argue. Like, I literally like almost packed June stuff and like put him, like he was changing too much without consulting me first. We were arguing day in and day out over this fantasy football. He's like, that's not smart football. I changed it because he won a lot of money doing that
So
actually.
you need to listen to him.
Yeah, I listen to him now. But that was the year that Tyreek Hill, they went to the Super Bowl and won.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the reason, essentially, that we won. Like $1,500. Yeah.
So I know who's gonna be running my team next year because
He charges a small
That's
fee.
fine. Whatever you need.
Now he started smelling himself last year. He was like, he not doing it no more unless he get all the money. Mind you, I collect all the people. I put my money in. Like I said, you know what? Save your little $75 that you won from this. Start your own league. And this year, crickets. He can't start a league.
No,
He asked me to
I'm gonna
start
put him
it.
in my league. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Sorry, somebody who is in last place, which might be me this year. They got to get kicked out the league, and we're gonna invite T in.
Yeah, no, he is phenomenal at it. But I did read that Tyreek said he felt like he was always in the shadow of
Patrick Mahomes or Travis Kelce.
Kelsey.
I can see that. Shout out to Travis Kelce, another UC alum.
So one thing I wanted to ask you, well, a few things. So how long have you been in education?
Whew, I've been in education since 2012, so this is my 11th year in education.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you teach?
I am a high school math teacher, believe it or not.
Math?
Yep.
What?
Yep.
You have to have some insane knowledge for that.
You know what's funny? I hated math in high school.
Okay.
Like I could not stand it.
So what subject?
So right now I have Algebra 1.
Okay.
I teach ninth
That's not
graders.
bad.
Yeah, it's not terrible. But I've taught anything from Algebra 1 to Geometry, Algebra 2, Pre-Calculus, which is Trig and all that. So yeah,
Horrible.
terrible.
Okay.
I hate teaching it. I'm not gonna lie. Probably shouldn't say that on camera, but it is what it is, y'all.
So my thing is, as a coach
Mm-hmm.
and as a parent, we're going to have a conversation. And I speak on behalf of all parents that these kids ain't listening to us. I'm speaking on behalf of all moms because my son's dad could call him right now and be like, take trash out. June gonna put his socks and shoes on,
And
take
go
the trash out. But I could tell him take the trash out and he'll get around to it.
Mm-hmm.
Or he'll forget. And then he'll do it once I tell him for the 7th time. Then he'll take the trash out. You know, after he stressed me out all day, you know. So do you know that they listen to y'all a little bit more?
We would like to think that they listen to us a little bit more, but we never, as coaches, if I'm being honest, we never really know. Like, we don't know if what we're doing day to day translates to when they don't see us and they're not around us. We really don't know.
They do, because even recently something happened in a group chat and I was like, are you in a group chat? He was like, no, what happened? Did coach say something? And I was like, calm down. Like, like he was really concerned if y'all were talking in our parent group chat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what were they supposed to tell me? Like, what you been doing at practice? You know what I mean? Like, but it dawned on me, because I got a really good kid. I'm really thankful for that. But it dawned on me that he was waiting for some instruction.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's beautiful. But I've given you several instructions today. If you wanted some instruction, go take the trash out, you know? So I'm like, do the coach need to tell you take your trash out? Like, who do I need to enlist some help from?
Mm-hmm.
You know, nah, they listening to y'all.
Yeah, like I said, we never really know. We hope that they listen. And the same thing that y'all probably experience at home, we experience in practice. Like I think some parents think that things are different at home as to when they're with us. Okay. And there's not too many differences. But again, I can't speak to what goes on at home, but just you saying, you know, he doesn't take the trash out. Well, that's similar to us. Well, he doesn't consistently work on the left hand. I'm not saying T in general. I'm just saying like he doesn't consistently work on his left hand in practice. We have to tell him every single day, do this, do that, do that. So sometimes we feel like they aren't listening to us, and especially with our team right now, we're not going to talk about it, but we're struggling. We're rebuilding right now.
They're interesting.
And
they're passionate.
Yeah. But like we feel as coaches, like, man, we were telling y'all the same thing every single practice, every single day. And then y'all get into these games and do almost the exact opposite. So are y'all listening to us? And that's the frustration. Like I'm getting frustrated right now because like y'all don't listen.
It's the crowd.
What do you mean? Like at the games?
Nervous?
For sure, because we got a young team. Like we got a lot of guys who are freshmen and sophomores, and our older guys haven't really played organized ball for an extended period of time.
Okay.
So when you go from a practice to a game, especially on the road, when there's, more fans than we have at home, it's probably a culture shock. It's probably, I'm going to freeze up. I don't know what to do. But I mean, we're now in game 10, 11.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be freezing up. Exactly. It is what it is. Get used to it. So I think it's the crowd. I think it's the fact they're young, and we just got a long way to go basketball wise.
That's why I try to make it to all the games, because I think that at least the ones that I can, because sometimes I just don't want to go. Mm-hmm. It's so many of them, right? But I'm like, it's beyond you and what you want to do, because if you just go to one game off season, that's the game he's going to be the most nervous. So if I'm consistently there, he'll
get used to seeing you, and that becomes comfort for him. Yeah. I know for me growing up, my mom didn't like me playing football. She couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't come to games. In basketball, she would come, but I know when I looked up to the stands, I was like, okay, that's my zen. Like, okay, she's here.
Really?
I'm good. Like, I can go out here and make.
I don't feel like my son look at it like that. I was like,
you might not, but
she here. Oh my God.
He might be nervous.
Yeah. So he did say that the football coach approached him. Did you know about that? Oh, I'm just snitching today.
Oh my goodness. And I love our football coaches, man. It's no disrespect, but it's, man, let us have our guys, please.
He said no. He came to me. I said, what did you say before? Because I don't want him playing football. I think that he would be good, but I also think that he would get hurt. So
you can get hurt playing any sport. So I don't want that to be the reason. But of course, you have more of a risk, getting hurt in
like
football.
I'm mommy mode. So I'm like, what did you say first? And then he's like, no, I want to play basketball. And I said, well, why? Because he used to play football. Mm-hmm. And he gave me a reason why. And I'm just like, okay, well, do your coaches know? Like, I don't know, because he doesn't know anything. That's it. Number one answer. I don't know.
Oh, we had that too.
So, I guess I was gonna ask, how do you feel about that? But, how do you feel about the boys, young men, I should say, that do both?
I don't think it's a problem with it, because I did both.
Okay.
Like, I know a lot of people did both. Like it's a way that you can play multiple sports. I think the age we're in now, people feel like you got to specialize in one sport to be good at it, to get that college scholarship, if that's what your goal is.
Okay.
But if you don't have goals or any aspirations of playing at the next level, play all the sports you want to.
Okay.
However, I think it becomes an issue when, and he, like you said, he's coming to form with his body. Like just seeing him from last year, this year, he's developed. Yeah. And who knows, he might go out there and kill it on the football field. And I don't want to be that coach to not allow him to do that. Yeah. Right. But at the same time, it's like, man, we also see something with him with basketball. If we can just hone those skills, and we're going to lose time if he goes to work out and practice with football. So it's kind of like give and take. And that's just my biggest thing with, I don't want to get in trouble here, but fuck it. That's my biggest thing with our school right now. Like I said, I'm a girls track coach, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm selfish. I want my girls with me all year round, but I do have some that play basketball. I do have some that cheer and do all the other stuff. I'm okay with that. But then also don't come back and tell me that you want to be serious about run track in college, but then you go off and do something else for 6-7 months at a time, because then it's like, you're not really serious.
Okay.
So that's the frustration as a coach when it comes to multiple sports. It's like, all right, which one are you really going to excel at?
Yeah.
And does it become a point where you're just wasting your time playing another sport when you could be with me getting better at this sport?
One. So let me ask you this off topic. Why do cheerleaders cheer like Glorilla? That's getting on my nerve.
What you mean?
Why? They so cute too. They are beautiful young ladies, but what's happening with that? All the schools, not just my son's school, all of
I don't want to be the one to speak on that. I'm not gonna lie, but I am gonna say because I've seen that in public schools
them. Oh my
specifically, right?
goodness.
I think it just looks different. Like it's not our generation no more. So that is
We old.
cheerleading for them
We
today.
old.
That's what it
Okay.
is. Like
Perfect then.
that's what it is. There aren't any, they not doing no stunts or,
No, they're
things
not
like
doing
that. They
nothing.
just
They
out
just
there.
stomping, clapping,
That's
and glow,
that's
big glow.
that's that's what it
Oh,
is. We just owe. We just
all
owe.
right then.
That's how they
That's a
cheer.
hard pill to swallow,
It
but okay.
is. It is.
So, nothing. Last thing I want to talk about with the young man. Are you guys teaching them real life applicable skills? Because school ain't teaching them that. So, finances, credit, girls, are you guys talking to them about that?
Um, yes and no. It's even though we do spend a lot of time with them,
Hmm.
it's still not enough time. Because when we do have them, it is more or less about basketball. But we always try to make sure that the lessons we teach within basketball also translates to other parts of your life.
Okay.
So I know specifically when it comes to coaching, we don't get specific enough to talk about finances and, the real world shit that they need because again,
Right.
it's just not enough time in the day to have those conversations, even though they are needed. You follow me on IG, so I'm huge on financial literacy. Like
Yeah.
that's my shit. So with my track girls, someone would tell you that have graduated, they're going to graduate, and hopefully, if they listen, we sit down and we open up investments accounts before they leave. They're
Really?
gonna start some of them have their E-Trade
So
accounts
good.
and Fidelity. Now, if they
Really?
use them, I don't know, but at least I'm gonna get you started in that right
Yeah.
direction. I preach on my coaching page, like I don't care who's listening, who's not. Like you got to have some type of financial
Really?
awareness to you. So it's definitely we can do better, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't think we're intentional about it. Does it come up? Of course. Do they come up to
Yeah.
us and they may, guys are going to come talk to us about girls. They just,
Yeah.
but if they do, like the door is always open. Those conversations happen, but I think we can definitely be more intentional about having those conversations because you're right. They're
I
not getting
think
taught
at
in school.
least the finance.
Yeah.
Because it's not enough time. I get it. Even with me as a parent, it's not enough time to do what I need to do as a parent.
hmm
Go to work. What I need to do as a woman, be a mom. Like
Yep.
it's not enough time. So, but financial, I think that should be a class, like financial literacy, how to write a check, how to balance a checkbook, even an e-checkbook, like how to log onto your bank account,
Mhm.
like all of that stuff
How to budget
needs
your
to
money.
be talked about in high school. And, I didn't learn that in high school. So I don't know.
Yeah, we can be more intentional. Now, I'm glad you actually said that because that is something that I am aiming to do is, reach our youth and just teach them about financial literacy.
That's
Like,
dope that you set the girls up like that.
yeah, a few of them.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, again, I don't know if they're using. If y'all listening, make sure y'all are contributing to y'all Roth IRA that y'all started 5 years ago.
Wow.
So, yeah.
At 18.
18.
Wow.
And they can get started, you can get started now. You just open up a custodial account for them and
I put them on a couple credit cards and our next lesson, because it's just not enough time. Oh my God. I thought it would be easier than this. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it being a mom, teaching these life lessons, it is difficult. So the next lesson is pulling his credit report because I added him a few years ago. So hopefully he walks into the world with a decent credit score.
Right.
He obviously knows about closing on a home, stuff like that. He's seen a few people do it, but it's a lot.
It is. And I will say, don't even beat yourself up. I mean, I don't have kids yet. But I have these conversations with my mom now, like, how come you didn't teach me about X, Y, and Z? And she actually worked in the finance industry, kind of, sort of.
Really?
And we never really had those intentional conversations, but I got to take into fact what she did do. Like, I did see her budget every night. I did see her. We were never behind on bills. Like, things were paid. So I kind of took those nuggets. And a lot of it, I hate to say it, like, it depends on the student. Like, we can talk that talk, but are they going to be interested anyway? Like, I'm a teacher, and as soon as I bring it up, like, they say they like money. Well, bet I'm going to show you how to really get to it.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring up the stock market in my charts right now. Let's go. They tune you out.
Yeah, because getting the money is boring. Giving it to me for free is fun.
That part.
But
they want
actually working for it is pretty boring.
Instant gratification is what they want. Yeah.
But I think, once again, they're listening. And I think they're listening to you guys a little bit more than us. So just dropping the information off. I don't know how, because practice is 4 hours, and y'all got to go through the JV team, the RC team. I don't know how, but
Like I said, I'm glad you said that because now my brain is turning. I'm like, okay, how can we make better use of our time to have these intentional conversations outside the ball?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not doing so well right now anyway, so we might as well stop and have some financial literacy conversations and things like that. Yeah, we'll get right, but yeah, we can be more intentional about that.
So we got to talk about travel. You got a favorite travel story? Man, interesting.
I don't know if it's interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this. To my wife, baby, this is before you. No, she knows the story. Okay. So I went to Toronto one weekend. It was a bachelor party type situation. I'm not gonna say any names. The homies know. And it was actually a Carabana weekend, so it was lit, like crazy. So of course.
Can you describe that for the listeners?
So Carabana is a Caribbean festival that happens every year in August in Toronto. It is probably one of the biggest ones here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably one of the biggest ones.
It is a huge Caribbean, just everything in Toronto. A lot of people don't know that. They think that Drake is, just fucking up the accent. Like, no, it's really a lot of Caribbean up there in Toronto.
Yeah, and Toronto's dope too. Like, it's probably one of my favorite cities I visited.
Okay.
So yeah, we were out there kicking it, and of course we all know what goes down when you're at the bachelor party. We all trying to take something home.
I've never been invited to one.
Oh well, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we all trying to take something home.
At the bachelorette party.
Yeah, right. Get the hell out of here. But we were on the roof, and I don't even know this chick's name. Obviously, I'm not gonna put it out there, but she's walking along the edge of the roof, and she starts saying shit like, "Oh, what if I just jump now?"
Oh my God!
And mind you, we're drinking, we're pretty intoxicated, but I sobered up so fucking quick. Like, fuck do you mean? What if you jump now? Like, no, you can't do that. Like, I got to get back home. You jump now, I'm going to jail tonight. It's just me and you up here. Like, ain't nobody gonna believe that you just jumped off. They gonna think I pushed you down. So she's doing this whole thing. I had to literally like talk her off the ledge. I don't know if she was serious. I know she was drinking, but that was like, that's not like the greatest trip story. That was scary as shit.
Was that your last like big trip?
My last big trip, yeah, that was probably Toronto.
Aww.
Yeah, and that's crazy because that was years ago.
You gotta change the course of your trip.
I think I've been scarred ever since. Like that trip right there. Like,
good thing you talked her down.
I did, but then she did some other crazy shit that night. That was just like stumbled, fell down some stairs. It was crazy.
Okay.
It was crazy.
Yeah, she was on one.
She was
a lot, and she was on a lot.
Fellas, don't drink and go to the roof. Just trying to set the vibes.
Drink and go to the roof. Well, I think the Hangover showed us that.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Don't drink and go to the roof.
That was probably the craziest shit that's happened to me on a trip.
I've been to Toronto when it was cold. We didn't have nearly that much fun. Mm-hmm. I don't have a story to tell from it. It was just a lot of drinking and a lot of walking.
Yeah.
Decent food.
Yeah, the food was okay.
I didn't get any Caribbean food up there.
I didn't either.
Okay.
I didn't. We had pizza the whole trip.
So were they dressed up in the,
Yeah, they did the whole outfits. We didn't do it. And I really feel that I was out of place.
Okay.
Because we out there in like shorts, J's, and a beater. And everybody else was
dressed up?
Yeah. So we were definitely out of place. But again, it was a good time, drunken mess.
Okay, so last topic is I posted a meme, and when I post memes, you guys, I say this all the time on the podcast. I get great feedback, and this was one of the feedbacks. He's like, "That sounds like a great podcast." Well, let's go. Let's talk about it. So, the meme. Let me find the meme because you already gave me a perspective that I didn't think about just from prepping for this. But he said he gonna wait for the podcast for me to hear what he really got to say.
I got a couple questions for her too, off the meme.
Oh God. Okay. The meme is why men never want to be just friends. I make an awesome homegirl for real. And I had my little spiel from that because I feel like men can miss out on lifelong connections because they're not thinking with their brain. They're not thinking long term and how this could be, this friendship could turn to a family member, auntie to my kids, a friend to my wife. They're not thinking long term. They're thinking right now, physically. So, what's your opinion on opposite sex friends?
So like we did, before the show. Well, first, my opinion on opposite sex friends, I think they can exist. But both parties got to be real with themselves.
Okay.
And I think that doesn't happen enough because there's always one side that feels totally different than the other side. And that's when signals get crossed. If there is some communication about it. And that's when things got,
So be real with themselves. What does that mean?
So you got to be real. Like if the opportunity presented itself, like, yeah, I might want to smash. Right.
So you would have
that conversation. Right. Or if it's just going to be like, yo, I don't even see you that way. Like you really just the homie. Like, and that's going to be what it is. And the woman has to be upfront too. And if you're not going to be real, then you can't even get past that. You can't even be friends because now you don't know what the other's intentions are or would be.
Okay.
So I think.
So have a hard conversation.
Have those hard conversations.
Okay.
And if it's really on some, yeah, dog, I don't even see you like that. Cool. I don't see you like that either. We're going to keep it moving.
Yeah.
Now, I think women would admit that and it actually be true before a man would say that and it actually be true. Because a man would say that, but deep down, like, I'm just going to hold on and wait this out.
Lying.
2-3 years later.
I'm going to sit in this friend zone. And I'm just going to wait.
Exactly.
And it's like, no, because I don't have friend zones. I'm not saving anyone for later. Like, no, we're friends. Like, we're legit friends.
Right.
I'm not saving anything for later. Right. I'm good on that.
And I'll be honest, we as men, we sometimes don't think that way. We're going to sit here and think, and y'all know, we gonna sit in this friend zone, but I'm just going to wait. Yeah. I'm going to wait until her niggas slip up. Yeah. I'm going to wait until I can be that shoulder to cry on.
That's terrible.
Or I'm going to sit in the cut and just, it happens. I'm being real. It happens. But at the same time, and like I told you before the show, if I see you out, church, grocery store, club, wherever,
yeah,
and I approach you, that's strictly physical attraction right there.
Okay.
So in our minds, we're already thinking one of two things. I'm either trying to be physical.
Okay.
Or maybe this becomes my girl, wife, whatever. We don't go into it like, damn, she might make an awesome friend. Right? Like that doesn't happen. The only time that happens is if we just kicking it as a group, we got mutual friends and I see how you move. I see how you treat other people. I see how you, raise your son, things like that. Oh, she has great morals, great values. Yeah. I see how I like her vibe. I'm not attracted to her like that, but she will be a dope person to connect with. Like maybe she has something that she can teach me and vice versa. And then a friendship blossoms from there. But if it's on some, I just see you out, that's strictly physical attraction.
I never thought about it like that, but I've never thought about it like that either. Like when you flip it around, I've never thought meeting a guy at the grocery store, we would make great friends. I've never thought that. But then again, I don't want to meet my soulmate at the grocery store either.
You don't know where you're going to meet your soulmate.
Yeah, like that just doesn't cross my mind to date, to go out and, I don't know, maybe I'm just weird, but I've just never thought of it in the way that you put it.
Mm-hmm.
So meeting someone for the first time, it's an automatic, this person wants to date me, essentially.
Because what else do we have to go off of? It's strictly physical attraction.
Yeah, so but like meeting a coworker, around people, like sometimes you meet coworkers and they're great friends. And they'll, just sit out the friend zone. And you're like, wait a minute, I didn't have a friend zone. And I didn't know I had to have that conversation that you mentioned. Like, I didn't know we even had to do that. Thought you understood. We work together, we're friends, right?
That's not even an understanding because look how many relationships happen within
the
workplace.
Do I know about that? Oh wow!
I've seen it.
It happens a lot.
It happens a lot.
They could even be married to two different people. And go and marry each other.
So that's the thing. Yeah. So you can't assume that you don't need to have that conversation. Yeah. I think if y'all, whatever friends do, however it ends up happening, if y'all kicking it, at some point it's like, hey, we're strictly just kicking it. Like this is nothing more than us being friends.
Yeah.
But if that conversation never happens, one party, if not both, but definitely one party is definitely sitting back plotting or waiting.
Man.
Just being real. But
so when you said it the other way, I have had homegirls in the past that came to me and said, this guy friend zoned me. So that's what that conversation is. That's what that conversation, and I never thought of it before. I'm just like, oh, well,
So
okay.
she got friend zoned.
Yeah, that happens to women.
How does she feel about that?
Oh, women hate rejection.
So, and that's my thing right there.
Women hate, I mean, men hate rejection too, but women are just devastated because we rarely receive it, you know?
So let's pause right there for a second, right? And I was actually going to ask you, how would you feel if a man wasn't
That
trying to
would never
smash,
happen.
right? I'm just saying, like, what?
That would never
Somebody is
happen.
not humble. So how many times have you heard? And I know plenty of men get this. We get labeled as the nice guy if we don't try to smash. We get labeled as, what's wrong with you? Are you gay? Right?
I have,
Because we're not
okay,
being super
I've heard
intentional
that.
about trying to smash. So
I've heard that.
it's kind of like a loss for us either way. If we're going to sit back and really try to approach you and be respectful, whether it's
Yeah.
friendship, I'm trying to court you, date you,
Yeah.
whatever. If we don't try to be physical with you at some point in time, y'all looking at us like, all right, what's wrong with him and what's going on?
Once again, I'm weird. I've never experienced, but I've
Keep it
seen
real
that.
now. You on the podcast.
No,
Keep it
I
real.
have seen that. I have seen that a lot. I have. But I've seen that with my more promiscuous friends. I'm gonna be real honest. I've seen that with old friends in the past that, you know, hot girl. And the man didn't necessarily want that, you know, and they made it clear. They had that hard conversation, and she'll come back to us like, oh, he gay. And it's like, oh, well, I don't think that he's gay, but okay, like I'm gonna listen to you vent, sis, because sometimes you can't correct women in that moment. In that moment of rejection, it's hard to correct women, period. But in that moment of rejection, it is very difficult to say maybe he's not gay and maybe he's just not into you.
Or maybe he doesn't want whatever he's trying to build with you to have a foundation of lust or
Okay.
being physical.
Yeah.
But again, y'all can't stand rejection. So it has to be
Yeah.
something wrong with us if we're not
Yeah.
trying to get to that level.
Like I said, I've heard that from the more promiscuous friends. I have not heard that from my friends that are relationship based. Typically women that are relationship based, when they want a guy, they get the guy. But they're not out here wanting everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's why I've never experienced it. It's not that I'm not humble. Is that now if that happened to me, I would probably lose my shit. But I'll probably be like, oh my God, I'm getting old. Oh my God. What's wrong with me? But no, it's because women that are more relationship based aren't putting themselves out there like that. So it's typically the other way around for us. Like, we think we have a male friend and he's actually not our friend.
Whole time you plotting.
Yeah, whole time you plotting. And it's typically even worse for women like us because our guy is telling us that. And we're like, no, he just a friend. And he was right the whole time. You got to go crawling back to your dude. Like, he did try to holler at me.
So yeah, I've had female friends who I would get those stories. I'm like, yo, he's clearly just trying to smash. Like, go ahead and move on. No, he's not. Or, you know, he's just my friend. I put him in the friend zone. He knows what's up. I said, okay, until he tries you. And then what? And 1000% of the time,
I've heard that so many times.
Damn, he did try it. You was right. Like, it happens, man.
And
it happens.
This is the thing, we get so let down because we really thought that was a friend. And sometimes we need male friends just for this conversation here. Sometimes we need a little male guidance that isn't our actual brother. Cause, you know, we were fighting our brothers, you know, we were 5, 6, 7, like, you know, we need someone that is platonic, that's like our homegirls, but doesn't have the estrogen.
And don't have other intentions.
Right. And that are telling us like it is from a male perspective. Every woman needs that. So when we find out that's not what that was, it's hurtful. It's like kind of losing a boyfriend or like a best friend. Like,
so even then, like, if we're being realistic, right? And you just said a long time ago how sometimes women can be. So if we're thinking long term, if I have a female friend and I end up going off and I get married, how much is my wife going to be super understanding? Like, that's just a female friend, right? even if I tell her the history, yada yada, we've been friends since high school, yada yada, is she gonna be comfortable with knowing that that is your best female friend? Because then that could become a situation where if your wife don't believe you, or if your wife doesn't feel comfortable with it, then it's
You got to dead that
you got to dead
situation.
that friend.
Well,
Which again, if that's truly your friend, you're gonna fight back. Cause like, no,
Yeah.
yo, but then she's
Yeah.
gonna see it as what you fighting so hard for?
because if it's truly a friend, wives typically embrace that friend also.
Do they?
I think so. From my experience, they do.
I don't.
But at the same time, I'm not an overbearing female friend either. I'm not pulling up to your house unannounced. I'm not
Right.
calling you at an undecent hour. Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, even my female friends that are in relationships, if I'm about to call them at 11 o'clock at night, I'm thinking twice. Like, oh shit,
right,
they booed up. Like, I'm not
right.
gonna call my female friends either. Why would I call my male friends? So women, so the wife peeps the slick shit, the petty shit like that.
Mhm.
And so, hey man, that's not your friend. I don't want you around her no more. I can't explain to you why, but I'm just telling you.
And see, I think that happens more often than not.
Yeah.
It becomes all right, in this case, I just got to trust my girl or my wife at that time.
Yeah, you just got to trust her. Yeah.
But sometimes it really do be like, yo, babe, no, she's not even,
Yeah.
no, like she's strictly your friend. But that's a tough conversation to have. Like I actually went through that a couple of years ago. And that was the reason why we broke up, because I had a female friend who just posted a video on Instagram on my birthday, like everybody does, right? I don't even think I reposted it. She posted it. And my girlfriend at the time like went off. Like, why is she posting this video? Yada, yada. Why did you even feel comfortable posting it? I said, yo, it's a video. So I guess it really just depends on like who you dating at the time. But like that's the fact that we're even having this conversation. Like that's how.
As a female friend, I'm not posting videos with my male friend either, you know? So I could kind of get both sides, or like, hey, bro, do you feel like this is a okay video for your birthday? Like, you got to ask first. Cause I have seen the overbearing female friend. I've seen that's just my bros before hoes. And no, he'll stop talking to you. The right phone call, the right,
It's a wrap.
post, you're gone. You're out of there. You have to respect people's relationships. You got to respect people's space. Like, it's just not automatic that you're his sis, that you're going to be around forever. So you got to respect even your same sex. Like I just said, I'm not calling my homegirl at midnight. I know she booed up. I'm not posting videos from the bachelorette party for her birthday. She gonna be like, Trey, take that down. Or she gonna stop talking to me.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucked up. Why would you do that? You must be jealous.
So it gets to that point where and that's why I like to see is I kind of peep, all right, how are you going to act as a friend? Well, I don't care what side of it, whether it's the male friend or a female friend, like, how are you going to act? Cause now things can't be the same. Like you could call me at midnight before, but now I'm involved. You got to dead there. You got to stop it. But if you keep trying to do those things, like things are like still normal, that's how I know that, oh, you know what? You might be on some other shit. Or even as a male, like, cause in my younger days, if I knew, I was involved with someone, it was a female friend and she had a boyfriend, I would still try it. Like, yo, hit her up at midnight or pull up. Oh, I'm in your city. What's up? You know what I mean? Like, just to see what would happen. That was younger, immature, Jay.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that happens. And if that person allowed it to happen, I'm like, oh, well, you ain't serious about him anyway.
Yes. And I've never experienced that from my male friends either. Like, why would you call me that late?
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, that wrapped up all our topics today. Thank you. No, that was a really good conversation.
That was fun. We got to do this again.
Yeah. And I want all my guests to come back. Let me know when you want to come back and we can schedule it. We're going to have some more topics, some more sports talk, because I know the guys are going to be so shocked. They're going to be so shocked that we talked
about Draymond Green and Tyreek Hill.
One of the guys hit me up and was like, that last episode was for girls. I'm like, well, did you like it? He was like, yeah, but it wasn't like the typical girl talk where we be like spilling secrets. Like it was more like therapeutic for girls.
Gotcha.
So he was like, that was for girls. So he's going to be so shocked to hear this.
Gotcha. And I know the fellas going to be mad that I did put all three in the top 5. If y'all have to make me pick out of the 3, I'll leave y'all with this. LeBron James is the GOAT.
All right. On that note, see y'all next time.